The race was organized in minus 15 to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Do some darts with the drones.
Rolando.
Hi, welcome to this new episode of the European Racing Series. I am MinusDream and I will be the conductor for this interview. Welcome to the DRF Live channel. This day we will have the honor to interview the guys from Hungary. With us there will be Demon, Roland, Rontó. There will be Speed FPV, so Péter Drimál, and Gábor Pető. With us there will be also Fiorix FPV, an Italian friend from the BFC site camp. And in this interview we will talk about the organization of the championship in Hungary, but also the pilot side, so how it is to grow up as a FPV pilot in Hungary. Up to me will be a live chat. In this box you will see some after consideration, so after edit consideration. Some are fun, some are just misunderstanding or just Discord problem. Usually we will do this in live stream in this channel, but as for a request from the guys of Hungary, this is a video. I hope you like it. So actually this is my first video edited. I hope that everything is fine. I'm sure that there is something wrong around it, but never mind. I hope you enjoy. Happy flying, guys. We are ready, guys. So, who are you and what are you doing here? Demon.
Okay, hello guys. I am Roland Rontó. In FPV, I'm called Demon FPV. I've been racing for 8 years in FPV, and I am the Hungarian champion last year. Currently, take on the statistics, I think right now I am the best FPV pilot in the 5-inch category in Hungary. And I'm also qualified for the World Games, etc. And I am working as a full-time drone operator for filming and commercial stuff.
Pete.
Hi, my name is Pete. Péter Drimál, the real name. I think I'm a tiny whooper, so I'm only flies with the 65 millimeter sized micros. So I'm an addict. Actually, I got third place in IGAO. I don't know. Do you know IGAO or RaceGAO? So it's a freestyle competition. It's like an offline competition because you should make challenges on every week, almost during a year. So I got a third place, and I was in RaceGAO. I got seventh place, I think, if I remember well. And I have been flying with micros since 2019, around just before COVID. I stepped in this hobby. Actually, my journey started with RC cars because I really like to drive these little things, but I didn't really like that if I go too far with an RC car, I just couldn't see what the hell is happening because I can see what my car could see. So I always wondered how could I put a camera in my car and make it like a simulator. So then one of my friends told me that he bought a tiny whoop from Banggood. It's called something Ichin something cheap, a toy. And I told to him it would be way better if you could put a camera on it. And he told me, hey, that's an option. There is a camera and you can put on it them. Oh, what the heck?
And
Can
a
I put
world
a
just
camera on it?
open in front of you.
Yes, yes. So the RC car and in the FPV, it spent around 10 years. So actually, I had to wait for the analog cameras to appear in the AliExpress or Banggood. So I immediately bought a set, but I fall in love. And after that, I started to practicing at home. But it was the start. The COVID just started, so I couldn't practice with another pilots to make something because I wanted to compete with someone.
Yeah.
Started to make tiny drones bigger and bigger and organize races.
Pető.
Hello, my name is Gábor Pető. My alias name is VHP Gab. It's a little bit hard to pronounce it.
But VHP does not mean Whoop.
No,
I know.
nothing related to Whoop. So the first time I see a drone, it was a little bit a toy drone. I bought it from AliExpress. Oh, I hope it's not a bad thing. I started to fly in my home, and then I meet some guy who fly with toy drones as well and making some reviews. And we started to fly together. It was in 2016. And after that, soon I built my first 5-inch drone. Yes, I joined the community and I start racing with 5-inch drones. I met Damon as well there. After a few years later, I started to organize Whoop races as well. So I have a part in the 5-inch drone races, and I have a part in the Whoop races as well in Hungary. And as well, sometimes we are going to different countries as well to race with Damon or some other people.
After we will come back to the community, the first question for me is the first interaction with the community. So your first interaction was with YouTube, with Facebook, Instagram. How do you find the guys near you? The last interview that I did back in the days, 2017 or 2016, even the Facebook group wasn't a big thing, so it was difficult to find people near you. That's in Italy. About Hungary, how it worked there.
For me, the first interaction with FPV in general was a YouTube video. It was a DRL thing. And then I don't exactly know how I found FPV guys in Hungary. I think some of my relatives had a friend that was doing drone stuff in general, and then through that guy I somehow got to another friend that actually did FPV, and he was a really big help for me to be able to start it. But I think 8 or 9 years ago already we had a Hungarian group, because in Hungary FPV racing is around 10 years old, I guess. So we already had an existing community back then, and after I found that one guy that already did FPV, it was pretty easy to find other people to practice with and ask them about stuff and have fun, etc.
And you guys?
Before, one of my friends showed his new toy, which ordered from Banggood. But at this point, I have not seen any videos before the Tiny Whoop or any FPV stuff. So actually, the really first videos what I've seen, I think I just YouTube it. So I just searched on YouTube for it.
drone.
So that's all. And then I just started to practicing, and I found a group. It's called Hanwhoop, like Hungarian whoopers, and they shared many videos between each other. And I just started to practicing and do the same thing what I've seen there. Yes, I would say nothing.
Okay, so you say that it was from YouTube, just looking for a drone, FPV drone, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
have to set up. Yeah, and have to fly in acro mode, and
Yeah,
anything
and
else like that. Actually, it's funny because at the races between the heats, we drive the RC cars because it's just boring to wait until our heat. So so
yeah,
this
no.
RC car stuff just uh, became a game. But it's a bit loud, and some pilots complaining about the noise. But I
Okay.
think it would be not a problem if you are a 5-inch pilot.
Yeah, there's nothing
But
compared. What's the gear when you start? So what do you find as a drone part when you start?
first whoop what I
What kind of
bought,
frame do you use?
first one what I bought was a brushed, and I can't remember the name, but that it was around 30 grams, and nowadays we use around 10 grams
Well,
whoops, so it's around half of the original weight. But currently I use 65 millimeter Meteor airframe. My main flight controller is a Hummingbird spec, and I use around 28,000 kV or 30,000 kV with a tri-blade HQ prop, and the camera is a Tiny Whoop Pinch, which is pain in the ass because it's only available in United States, so it's so expensive, and it's really hard to buy it because all the time it's out of stock when I want to order. So we usually make group order with the Hungarian Tiny Whoopers to save on the cash, and I think
it's
that's
part
it.
of the competition.
It is.
Yes, yes.
The good
So
time to buy everything.
I just tried the HD0 AIO 5, and it flies very good. The weight a bit more than my analog setups, but not too much because it's around 18 grams, 18.5. But the main problem it's more power hungry than the analog ones. So actually, I barely can go through the whole map track. So it's really power hungry. So I don't know. I want to switch to the HD0 or not. So currently, I use both of them and testing them. But
Yeah, it
I
goes.
think I will stick with the analog one at
Really?
least for a bit. But I really like the HD0 because I can see everything. My feed is
You
much
see
more
well,
clear.
as we say in Italy.
And
You actually see.
this tiny whoop antennas, the dipole antennas, it's terrible indoors. We have many problems while we are racing. All the pilots complaining that I can't see nothing. That's it,
Yeah.
man. That's it. First impact to switch to HD0. I know it's a bit slower, it's a bit heavier, it's a bit more power hungry, but yeah,
You
I
see.
can see that. Yes, and it's the most important.
And Pito, how do you start? So, what's your first community
Oh.
approach?
So when I start in the day, I write mobile phone reviews, and one of the men who usually brought some phone to me started to fly with drones. So I had to buy my first drone, but it was only a toy. And after some time, when I see that it's very fun, I bought a bigger one and a bigger one and a powerful one. And after that, I saw that video when
Yeah.
some drones race in the forest with lights, and you
Yeah.
can hear the one by one music. When you see the forest screen in Star Wars, do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I got that feeling.
it almost feel the same. Seeing in a camera that you are going in very fast speed in the forest. So that's one of my dream in some time to do a race in a forest, but it's, as we know, it's very the
Difficult.
horrible video signal is not really good in the
Trash.
forest.
Yes.
So that was the first time I saw a FPV drone, and I watched a lot of building video in YouTube in foreign videos, so not in Hungary.
Okay.
So after that, I watched a lot of video. I thought I can build one on my own, but I have to ask a lot of questions from my Hungarian friend, what this part is going to use for, and so on. And after that, I successfully built my first FPV drone. I think it can be the first one without camera. Next step to get an FPV goggle to see what the drone see. At the time, that was a little bit difficult to find a spot to fly. One of my friend who lived in the same district as I am, we go together to fly. After that, somehow I think maybe on Facebook or I don't know where, he found the actual group. I visited them. It was on the, I don't know if you know the Hungary and the Hungaroring, where the Formula One cars goes
Yes.
around.
Yes.
So that's our place where I think the first race.
What's champion here in Hungary, and what's the feeling when do you arrive the first time? So what was your feeling the first race?
Yeah, the first race I ever attended was in Hungary, in the Hungaroring track. The Hungarian scene is usually approximately between 20 to 35 racers and some extra people around the event. So it was kind of fun. Ever since I'm going to these races, the vibe of the community is just really like a family, you know. So it's really welcoming and really fun. So for me it was pretty exciting, but it was the more exciting part for me was that how nice and how great mm, personalities I met there. So it was awesome.
And which championship are there actually in Hungary?
I have to say, in Hungary, there is no tiny whoop races. Unfortunately, we are trying to make it more popular, but it's really hard. We are not a big country, but actually, I think not too many country has tiny whoop races. I know that Poland, Italy, the Wooptopia will be at United Kingdom this year, and that's all. So it's really hard to find a tiny whoop race in the
In
European
Hungary.
Union.
I would add that we have an Italian Whoop League championship that we had a bit in winter, and so if you wanted to try these races, you can try to come since October, November until April. We have Whoop races here.
That would be awesome. We should discuss it. A bit about the tiny Whoop racing, and my first race where I participated was the second tiny drones race, which organized by Gábor. So that was the first time where I met with Gábor and Roland as well. If I remember well, Roland won that race, and that was the
I might have.
And I think
I'm not sure that is true.
But at that time, I was really unexperienced. I had some problems with my motor. You know, the motor valves was ruined, crashed because it was in two pieces. So I fucked it up. I got I don't know 7th or 8th place, but that was so important for me because that was the first time to show me what I can do. I really want to got the best lap at least, but I think Roland got better lap at the end. It was really close. So at that race, I learned that actually I have skill for this hobby. So that was my first and one of the most important race, I think, in my FPV journey.
For me, like my first race, I bought the drone directly from the race director, and he told me, "Oh yes, he's ready to fly it and everything else." Okay, it was back in 2020 when Express it was a thing, but he had some problems, some issue, with binding, and I passed maybe half of the Saturday trying to bind my drone, and it was my first race, and it was a mess actually, but it was fun. It was really fun. The regulation for the championship in Hungary, there are special rules like qualify, how do you do the race, last month we talked with the guys of Spain. They did race inside the city.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's great.
And it's so cool. For have more spectator, more cool for the spectator. They just get everything packed in 1 hour, and for the racers, it is something unbelievable.
Yeah, so in Hungary, for the 5-inch races, we have a whole weekend usually, if the weather is okay. So in the first day, we usually have a full day of practice and maybe the last 2 or 3 hours for qualification. And for Saturday, we start with 1 or 2 practice hits and then do some qualifications until around 2 to 3 p.m. And Saturday is practice all day. In Sunday, we have two warm-up heats, so it's basically just practice. You can do whatever you want, and then do some qualification until like 2 to 3 p.m. And then we do the double elimination races, and we finish it with the chase the ace format. So it's pretty basic. For the qualifications, we have the 3 consecutive lap system, and we have a custom timing system that is created and designed and made by one of the race organizers. For this, we use a small tag, which is basically like my finger. We have that timing system. It's insanely precise, and other than that, for the Hungarian Championship, we usually have 5 to 6 races a year, and then after the last one, we have the champion for the year.
Do you have the stick so you can show it to us?
You mean the timing tag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a second.
So you have that.
Yeah. So basically, this is my girlfriend's drone, and basically what you can see here, this is the timing tag. So it's a flat thing that we have to attach to the front left arm, and basically it's a passive stuff, so you don't have to power it with anything. You just have to have it on the drone. And when we fly through the finish gate, then there's another part of the timing system, which is an active stuff, of course, and through cables it can send the information to the timing system, and it can measure 0.001 digits, so it's disgustingly precise. We already had some interesting cases when we could really see how precise it is, when we had like two drones like centimeters apart, and it could measure the difference in the finish line when we're flying like 130 to 50 kilometers an hour, and it could tell the difference perfectly. So it's crazy.
That's good. So you have
Yeah, it
not
is.
to swear with Rontó hazard, lifetime. Is
Yeah.
really good for you. I can say.
It is awesome, and actually this system is existing for like 7 years now or 8 years. So it's already way older than most of the timing systems. And of course we have to have an extra stuff on the drone, but you know, in my 8 years of racing, I've experienced so many timing problems with different systems, and this system that our friend developed is just working. It's just there and it's working. It's only not working if you fuck up the tag, but that's your problem, you know. So that happens.
It's a personal
So
tag,
it's
so you need to
Is
buy.
So-
for
no,
Speak,
it's
please.
free. So if you go to the race, then you just pay the registration fee, which is like uh 5 to 10 euros, less than 10 euros in Hungary for the small races, and then you just get the tag, and you also keep it, because sometimes when we are out there just practicing, Christoph, who is the creator of this system, sometimes just sets up the system, and we just use it while practicing, so we have some extra data.
For the whoop, how you will do? You will use this kind of measurement or anything else?
Yes. So we only started the real whoop racing in 2022. In the first time, we used the same timing system as Roland. So we asked the 5-inch race director to come to us and measure our times. But as you know, the whoop weight is limited. If you put some tags on the whoop, it's some valuable
Maybe
weight.
the tag is
So
more weight than the tag.
yeah, not really. It's just only a little tin of paper, but it's
Okay.
too much for the best pilots. So we build our first timer. We use rotor hazard, and we use weightage system. But in the whoop is not as fast as the 5-inch drones. So we build our custom start and finish gate, which is shielded. So when we put the timer inside, it's mostly measured only when you fly through the gate. It's not as good as the 5-inch, the custom made timer, but it's usable. We record the DVR, so if there is any problem or just only a few milliseconds difference in the two pilots to get into the finish gate, we usually check the video to confirm who was the first and the second or the third fall. For the race format, we usually do the same as the 5-inch. We use the FI rules. Usually we have about 20 or 25 pilots in the same day. Usually on Friday we build a track at the evening. So every time we fly, we build a custom track. Usually we ask some foreign people to build for us or design for us. Then we have a place where we can build it up in the previous day. Usually the race only one day. So in the beginning we do a practice, 10 minutes for each pilot. And after that we do qualifying 4 to 6 rounds. And after that we do the DKO chase days in the final.
As Roland say, or I will jig call it Rolando, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Rolando.
Rolando. You never mentioned something like the bump up. Like
Isn't-
in
What do you mean?
Italy, for the 15 and 16 position, we usually do a
Oh.
bump up.
So it's
Is a
basically
kind
a
of
last
way-
chance to get qualified, right?
Yes.
No, we don't do that here.
No, we don't.
We have a shit ton of opportunities to qualify, so basically we don't really need that.
Usually don't have time for that as well. But I think the Polish racers do the same thing.
I need to interview them. I need to
Yeah,
interview them
sure,
too.
sure.
But at the end, the Spanish kind is the most crazy stuff.
Yes, absolutely. That doesn't sound fun, to be honest.
Oh, the guys just say that is more like F1 because you have really limited time, so you need to do the strategy. So in 15 minutes, you need to race every component of the team. So it's 4 team, it's 4 pilot for each team. So you go faster, so you start before, and maybe you do 2 lap instead of 3, and all the strategy. It's complicated. This is more
It
a
is.
normal one as Italian way. One of 2 race that you remember better as a spotlight race.
For me, I had two really memorable. I mean, I had a lot of really memorable races, but one of my favorites was the team race, an invitational team race organized in Russia. It was a pretty scary one, and also it was really foreign for us because we had to use a given set of stuff. So we were given the frame and the design of the canopy, and then the race was organized in minus 15 to minus 20 degrees Celsius, and the racetrack was over an ice field. So basically, when mostly we were flying in the night, in dark, and the illuminated gates were reflecting back on the ice, and also it was more of a show than a race. Still, the race was really tight, and we had pilots from like 15 different countries from all over the world, and it was insane. It was just an experience from out of this world. The other really memorable race for me was the World Games in 2022 in the USA. It was also a pretty nice experience, but I was also invited to Korea for a few times, and the World Championships in China and Korea. So there was a lot of insane races.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, all right.
I need some
Let's go.
inside.
Okay.
And you guys?
I think one of my favorite was in Croatia when we do a race inside gym, how you call it, PA room, physical education room, tornaterem.
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, it was some kind of a gym. Yeah.
It's some kind of very big gym
I mean,
in a
basically,
school.
no, it was like a sports hall, So it was like a basketball field, I think. but inside. So it was
Yes,
great.
yes, it's very tight and very good race. And I met a lot of foreign pilot as well. The other one is memorable for me. It's organized by us. It was in an airsoft field.
Oh yeah.
That's almost
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, uh, it's very memorable because some foreign pilots come to us to fly as well, and it was the first time to fly with them in Hungary. And as I was the organizer, and our setup was in a very early stage, so there was a lot of problem with the video. But the race was very good and the field was very nice. Normal interior of a building, it was very special.
Pete?
Yes.
For me, the same. The airsoft track was awesome because it was so weird. I don't know what should I use, what word should I use? Szokatlan, weird, no,
Weird?
weird.
Bird.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a bit something another stuff around us. So I think that was the funniest, the most memorable. There were many foreign pilots from Poland, so we had the chance to give a five them to them. So I think that was the best race for my point of view. And actually, I have to say that I go and race go, but it's an offline competition. That was a really, really big journey for me, and I think that was in that was the first one in my life, the biggest one in my FPV journey. Because
Need to
many,
document more of this gal because it sounds fun. Really, really fun.
yes, actually, I learned everything what I know about tricks, about the whoop, about everything around FPV. You have a chance. You have very big chance to talk each other because there there was there were around 300 pilots in the second season where I participated. Now even more in the season. So yeah, it's a good journey for everything who want to learn flying with a tiny whoop.
Good. And who drew the truck in the 5-inch and the tiny whoop?
For 5-inch, it's usually me, at least for the last 4 to 5 years. It's because I pretty early on my FPV experience, I started building trucks in simulators too. And I was pretty motivated and excited to build the tracks in real life too, that I was building in a simulator too. So it just became a habit that whatever I build for myself at the practice field, sometimes the race organizers just says that okay, this is gonna be the racetrack. So also for the World Cup races, it's just to be more fair, it's usually just me and two of the other guys combined. So it's for the World Cup races, it's usually just throwing in a few ideas and then just combining something out of it. But for the 5-inch, it's usually me.
Do you release before the race or just during the day, the Saturday?
So it's usually whenever I build a track, I usually just do a really slow fly through. So just it's a showcase fly. So this is the
Yeah.
track, and as soon as the track is finished, I usually do this showcase flight and I upload it that night or maybe the next day. So sometimes it's released 2 to 3 to 4 weeks before the race. Sometimes it's done a few days before the race, but as soon as the racetrack's done, it's usually uploaded immediately.
Okay, because before in Italy, we need to build the truck just the day before. So the
Yeah.
race manager came into the site camp and say, okay, change a little bit of the truck just to be sure that no one know actually the line that is better
Yes.
to do,
Yes.
and we race it. Okay.
Yeah.
This year we changed the things. So this year we have prop kit. I don't know if you never heard about it. It's a FPV pilot that used to be in the SDGC racing team. Is a English tournament that they do in Velocirun. So he practiced there, doing the track and everything. So this year we start to release the track in Velocirun 2 weeks before the race day. So they can do everything as all the racer can race in and try the line and everything else. And we find a way to get the track seems like the Velocirun one, at least for 5 centimeter error. So we have.
Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing. We get an amazing feeling that the track is actually same of the Velocirun one, and it's
Yep.
really good. You need to try it.
Yeah. So the thing is, when I build a track, I usually bring a Mavic, you know, the DJI Mavic drone,
Yeah.
and I do a top shot of this track. And since you can insert pictures into Velocidrone, sometimes me, sometimes other guys, but we usually build the track in Velocidrone too in a few days. Sometimes on the same night, but I'm usually too lazy for that nowadays. But usually I build the tracks for the races only if it's just the casual Hungarian Championship race. But for the World Cup I think we're gonna be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we will build the track on a Thursday evening. So most likely even the Hungarian organizers are also not gonna fly the track. Maybe there's gonna be a walkthrough, like actually walking through the tracks and showing like, okay, go through here and split as there and etc. But for that race, we are not releasing the track because as we designed the track, it's you know it's already built. So that's how we do the tracks in Hungary usually.
And
And we don't really want to have the track in real life. So that, for example, like just say we release the track a month before the race, I could fly like 1,000 packs until the race comes. So that wouldn't be really fair. So we will build the track like right before the race.
okay. And do you have someone inside Velocirun just then they publish the track as official?
I don't really care about that, to be honest, because it's I don't design and build tracks for competing it. We do it just so our guys can practice and have fun on it. But I'm not a fan of simulator racing. It might be because I'm not good in simulators, or I'm just not try hard enough. But I sometimes when I build the tracks, I don't even do. Well, I'm lying with it, but I don't really care about the building. I usually do everything right, but if something's a little off or just a checkpoint is a little sketchy, so you can fly through it too far away and it's not checking, then I don't really care. Just do it good. It's there to practice, not to compete.
What
So
do you
we
think
don't
about
really.
the new style of the Velocirun track, so the bando style? This year
I
we
don't
saw
use
a
those.
lot of them.
I haven't even opened any of them because for me freestyle is boring as hell. So freestyle is good. I was doing freestyle in bandos and stuff in my first 1 or 2 years. It was great fun, but ever since, for me right now, if I go to a bando and I can see the lines and I can see the fun in it, but also I can see the destroyed drones. and how expensive it is nowadays. And for me, I know it sounds weird because flying bandos is way more fun than racing. But for me, flying the same track for 8 hours a day is way more fun than doing bando. I
Same
just
for
go
me.
out to a bando, fly 1 or 2 packs with the friends, and I'm bored. It's not because I'm afraid
Agree
to
with you,
destroy the
Juan.
stuff. I'm just bored.
I totally agree with Tim.
What?
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Everyone start with freestyle, then switch to racing if enough skilled for that.
Yeah. Also, I think it's because when you go out to a bando, you usually have 1 or 2 friends with you. Like it's a small group, which is
Yeah,
also fine. Some people prefer that, but I for me the most motivating factor in drone racing now after 8 years is the community. So whenever I'm like, for example, I'm gonna go to the FAI race in Italy too. The thing I'm waiting the most is to meet all the idiots again, because the community is just crazy good. So
I agree, and maybe I will be there not as pilot but as a media team. But maybe I will be there. Now because this year really for me it was really annoying because every map that they release on Velocidrone, you see VRL, have the skimmery. You know skimmery.
yeah. The map itself.
Come on,
I
man.
can see the
That's not
panic there.
racing.
Yes.
A skimmery in a racing map, no, it's not. It's not compatible for me.
You can also learn stuff from that, but
Absolutely.
whenever I do the simulator stuff or practicing simulator, I always aim to do it realistically. So basically, that's the reason I'm not good at flying simulators and racing simulators, because I'm just not pushing it too hard. I'm always trying to aim for making it realistic, pushing it more than real, but trying to have it realistic. Like I'm not gonna modify the values in the settings to make it faster, but unreal. So that's not my thing.
And you guys, what's your approach with the simulator? Do you use it?
Well, I'm usually don't fly with the simulator because I got some sick from it. So I think maybe with my eyes there is some problem, or I'm not sure.
A friend of
But
mine have this
after
problem too.
5 minutes I got some sick, so in my stomach, so it's not really good. So
Okay.
I prefer flying in real life than simulator.
For me, I like the Velocidrone. I prefer the Velocidrone over anything else, but actually I'm not as good in the simulator like in the real life. Actually, I really hate to be slower in the Velocidrone uh, instead of what I can achieve in the real life.
That's
So
the same for me. Whenever I'm building some tracks, I'm usually just second or third on the timetable, and I'm like, fuck off! I'm not that bad. Come on.
yeah, so actually I'm using Velocidrone to practice the track, to memorize it, and that's all. And maybe I tried about 1 2 hours, but only for one night, and that's all. I feel pain in my head
Yeah.
because it's not as good like in real life. About the track designing those our races lately, basically I am the person who designed the track for the Tiny Whoop races, but lately we have asked pro, many two pro pilots to design for us because the reason is I am busy. That one fact, and the another fact, we are trying to follow the American style because I don't know, you maybe know the Wooptopia race.
I
That's
hate
the
them,
biggest.
yes.
That's the biggest tiny whoop race, and They are
Biggest
focusing.
map. 95 gates. Yes.
Yeah, they are focusing on the speed, on the flow. So they are trying to make it similar like a 5-inch track. But as we can see in Europe, like Poland, they use way smaller gates. They are make weird flow on the track. So that's not us. We want to make speed and flow just like the US guys. So lately we have asked, for example, Vedna. He's a really fast boy in 5-inch and in tiny
Who?
boat. And Andrew, yep, this is his real name. Andrew, pilot name is Ved,
Okay.
and he designed the last tracks lately, but the very last track designed by Anthony AK. He actually he's one of the
Best pilot in the world.
yes yes yes.
I saw
So
some video of
we really
AKA.
appreciate their help.
Yeah. So anyway, when we design a track, usually Peter is watching over it, and after they design it and build a velocity track, usually I make some sketch for how to build the gate in the real life. We designed standard gates, and we can. It consists of PVC pipes and printed parts.
So it's a
And
modular system.
it's a modular, so we can build anything from it. What the masters design, like AK or Red now, I think it's almost the same. And that's all, really.
Sometimes if I see a race in mostly US, we try to copy it because we want to compete with the US guys. We want to know what should we achieve if we would go there. This is a point of view.
It's not just the US guy or just is the way is why I'm doing this kind of interview with you with Spain, next in France, Germany. Fuck, we have a lot of pilots, really fast pilots, and
That's
another
true.
way maybe to do track and everything else. So maybe we can just get things done and say, hey, this is a new way to do it, and maybe it's not actually better or worst, is another way. After that, yes, everyone do the MultiGP. Are you doing the MultiGP Global Qualifier? I think. Nope.
Nope. I was thinking about doing it or building the track for it last year. We might build it this year too. I don't know. Maybe after the FAI Hungarian race, we might build it. It could also make a separate Hungarian championship race too. But unfortunately, we are still sticking to the FAI format, which I'm not really happy about. But we will see. We will see.
Oh, we will come to the FA later. I will talk with the for the championship. So, when did you start? How many race for here? You say six race, 5, 6 race, right?
5 to 6, yeah. So
Okay.
it starts in March. Usually the first race in the year is 15th of March.
So
It's
national
cold
holiday
outside
in
then,
Hungary.
right?
What?
It's cold
It's
outside, right?
yeah. But it is a national holiday in Hungary, so we have more time. Usually a three day weekend.
Yes, but
Okay.
it is also not that cold. I mean, it can be like 8 to 9 degrees usually, but it can be also 15 to 20 degrees. So it was
Okay.
this year. It was absolutely not cold. It can be random, and of course the weather in the spring is way more random. So sometimes it can rain all weekend. But so far we were pretty lucky, and we didn't really have to skip anything. So the weather is not terrible, to be honest.
That's not bad. The, actually, the first race that I did this year, it was in the BFC flat camp, the Jig flat camp or Fjorix flat camp.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit cold, like 5 degrees, 7 degree. It can be
Yeah,
like,
fine.
you know,
Yeah, for
maybe I was
me,
better
for
at
me,
home.
yeah, for me, cold is different after the Russian race. You know, minus 20
right.
to 25 is a different thing.
Yeah.
How you do it? How do know how the battery working at this
Yeah,
condition?
yeah. So you know those vests that you can plug in a power bank with USB, and then it can heat itself. So basically, you can buy those heating pads on AliExpress and stuff. And I bought like a paper size of that heating mat, and I built myself like a pouch. You know, it was like a big
Yeah,
battery pouch
Jig have
side
one.
stuff. Maybe it was my own design. I built it myself. I
Okay.
designed it myself, and it looked pretty good. So basically, it was a like a 2 centimeter thick foam, folded in half, and then I sewed it together, and then having the heating pad inside. And so basically, we were just heating up the batteries itself. So the batteries were already like 40 degrees Celsius when we put them on the drone. So they were already like as warm as when you push a battery kind of hard.
Did
So
you
they
build
were
it for the
they
Russian
didn't get
race?
what?
Did you build it only for the Russian race?
Yeah. You wanna see it?
This is
Yes.
this is the Russian packet. You should.
Yeah, give me a
know.
second. So for the Russian race, this was the frame. This is like a 7, almost 8 inch thing. So this is a TPU. I'm gonna switch on the light. Maybe it's gonna be better like this. So this is TPU, and in minus 20, you can imagine it was breaking like glass. So it was not soft at all. You just hit something. It is kind of intact, but the ones we used more were like completely screwed up. This was the drone, and this is the pouch. I'm to be honest,
Oh,
kind of proud of it. So I did the sewing there myself. It also has like this stuff here, and then we have the cable inside. You can also use a 4S battery or the USB there, and then you can see the heating pad inside on
come on.
both of
I
the
will go
parts.
to Milano with that in my hand.
What? Yeah. To be honest, that was the first comment from my teammate when we were getting ready for this race. But also that race was kind of crazy because we had rules that said we have to achieve a set amount of weight on the drone, which we didn't really see that part of the rules until before like 1 or 2 weeks before the race. And since our drones were not heavy enough, which I haven't even heard of a problem like that before in drone racing, we actually designed the fins on the top of the drone. We made it hollow, and we created lead weights. You know lead, right? That
Yeah.
really heavy metal. So basically, I had to design the negative of the fin, and then we poured it. It was made out of cement, and then we poured the hot lead inside that, so it had the shape of the fin, and then we could put it into the fin. So the fin itself was like like 50 to 60 grams, which is kind of heavy for a plastic piece like this. So we had some pretty insane innovations for that race. Yeah.
That's good. This
Yeah.
is the kind of racer they drove.
Yeah, so these are the things that made me really
Proud.
made that race for me really memorable.
Okay. So we say that the regulation side of the championship, right? So there is nothing special that difference beside the Hungarian and our race.
Yeah.
And for the live streaming, how do you do it? Do you do any live streaming of the race? Do you create any content online about it?
Yeah, sure. We usually use OBS to
Yes.
stream via YouTube, and usually is just only a static image of the pilot, and there are some field camera on the spot, so you can see, for example, the pilots, the start gate, or something. That a little bit of the result. 1 or 2 times we do some real-time comments, and it was very successful. Some of the pilots joined to comment on the race or attack anything about the FPV or the whoops as well. It was really fun. When only the static content is online, usually not a lot of people watching it because it's boring.
Yeah.
I get
For the
why.
5-inch races, for the small races, we usually don't use the live stream. Sometimes Christoph fires it up because we can. The system itself works so usually it's autonomous, so it is showing the actual data between the heats of the fastest laps and the most points per average and the fastest 3 laps average and stuff. And whenever the heats are starting, then it's gonna change to all the 4 FPV feeds, and on the right side you can see some statistics of the heat. So it works. Usually Christoph fires it up and it works. And for the World Cup races, we have commentators and more cameras around the field and on the pilot area and stuff. But yeah, that's that's all I know about the live stream part. The thing I know about the live stream is how crazy the Italian tiny whoop scene for the live stream. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
That is
the
that is
US.
insane and amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can say that. Yes, and
Yeah.
Gandini
Also,
behind that is really crazy.
yeah.
I would like to add some comment on the races in the Whoop because it's a little bit different from the 5-inch stuff. Because we start in January, and we usually have a break in the summer, in July and August. Usually we have 7, 8, 9 races in a year, but the last race is a little bit different than the others. We call it a Christmas race, and the last year we made it a little bit fun. So there wasn't a real race. We just make some fun and do little races. Like, for example, one of the pilot, we do it in group. 2 people was in a group, and one of the pilot drive an RC car, and the other is flying with a drone. But the RC car pilot only see what the drone can see. So
That was
so
fun.
the Whoop has
Fuck
to
is that?
follow the RC car in a track. So it was very heavy, very hard.
Epic.
Yeah, and it was very epic. For example, one of the drone pilot goes in front of the car, so it was looking very good, but the car driver cannot go anywhere. Do some darts with the drones. So we sticks into the drone, and we made a dust table from Hungaro cell, so it was soft, and you has to hit with the drone, and we add the points.
That's a good fucking idea. I want to do it.
The other one was we built a landing zone, a little about 20 centimeter circle, and we put about 1 meter high. And all the four drones have to fly on that spot, but only one can remain on the top for 10 seconds. If not, we have to, and we count loudly count to 10, 9, 8. And
So
when the drone is dropped down, we have to start again.
So the challenge for the other pilots was to push the pilot who are standing on the table and push the pilot
down
off the desk.
That is crazy.
So that was a Christmas game
on that whole day.
We say that to Gandini, and we need to do something like that. Absolutely, absolutely. The dart, we need to do it. I was asked to have a spot in the fire race, in the fire Italia race for this.
We killed some frames, so not a bit friendly challenge.
That's not a problem. Do you talk about fire race, and what do you mean that you need to stick with the fire rules? So for me is actually something that I really don't know about it, because I always do Coppa Italia, so the national championship. So can you explain me how it's working there?
Well, so what I meant is that for the races in Hungary, we usually stick to the rule set similar to FAI or basically that. What I meant is I'm not happy with is that we are going to the FAI World Championship and all the races around our FAI. You know, I don't really want to elaborate around it because it's just my opinion about stuff, but. There were a lot of pilots at last year's World Championship in China, and they have stuff to complain about. And we seen it coming. We knew it was coming. We didn't see it for the first time there, and still, shit happened. You know.
Right. Because actually for us that we saw the event from home, we just watch them and say how this is even possible. That is a big event like this. Okay, but never mind. I will cut this part.
It's fine because I will talk about this with FAI jury and officials too. So I'm an honest person with honest opinion. When I have positive to say, I'm gonna say the positive stuff. When I have negative stuff to say, I'm gonna say the negative stuff. You know, so I ain't gonna pull back some opinions just because it might hurt someone, because it's there for a reason, right?
We use opinion to get better, not worse. So
never mind. Huh?
But
yeah, just go
one
ahead.
thing that I remember, it was the story of Chris M.
Yes.
Chris M did a story about it, and from that, all the world just popping up, saying, "Hey, what's this? What this?" This was something, really something. Okay. About FAA race. So about the World Cup, the World Cup, the FA World Cup. When it's organized, where, how to subscribe to that, how it's working.
Well, After the tiny whoop race in Hungary, give me a second. I'm still stuck here.
Tiny
So
whoop
the
racing.
Hungarian FAI is June 20 to 22,
Yeah.
and the registration is on DRH DRONERACINGHungary.hu. I think I'm gonna send you the link, and it's gonna be organized at the usual Hungaroring place, because you know at the Hungaroring site. So basically, the main organizers of the FPV events, 5-inch FPV events in Hungary, is working for Hungaroring, and he has a pretty nice contact for all the place. And we have one of the parking lots of the track itself that we can use all year, except for 1 week when it's the Formula 1 event. So basically we have a shipping container with all our stuff, and we can leave the gates and the flags and all the track outside, because it's just protected with security, with the security that is protecting the whole property. So it's usually almost every single time when we have a race or practice or anything, is we are just doing it at the Hungaroring place for the 5-inch drones.
Which camp there are in Hungary over the younger race? There are other flat camp, flat camp.
We don't really. You mean that like 1 week events for flying only, right?
No.
No,
In
the
Italy.
place where
Yeah.
you mean the place where we can fly outside?
Yes. So basically, it's a practice field. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the past we have more fields to fly. One was in the Hungaroring.
Yes.
The other was in south part of Pest, Budapest, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's not really closed now, but there is no races there. Usually a little fly there. And we had a spot near to us, but it's a construction site. So I can say that in Budapest there is only one place where you can fly legally. Of course, that is Hungaroring.
Yes, because as soon as the European drone regulations started to kick in, unfortunately, the Hungarian government decided to make it even more strict. So basically, what you need for flying drones safely is an airfield. So basically, it's an official RC airfield, and that's what you need to be almost completely legal. But in Hungary, it's just impossible almost to be completely legal, you know, because you have to keep the given distances from people, and then you need the drone license and the registration and the pilot registration and the insurance, and everything is just crazy, and that's not helping the Hungarian scene at all. But that's what we have here.
You don't have to, because that was one of the reasons why I started the WOOP races, because inside the building it's really, you don't have any rules to have to obey.
Yeah, but
So,
it's different to don't care about the rules with a tiny whoop and then with a 5-inch.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
of course, we don't try to fly 5-inch in the university, so I
I would
think
have fun there.
I'm sure, but
Yeah.
it's not really legal to fly inside the
It is
university
not.
with fire.
Yes.
As in Italy, we actually not too much rule to follow. Yes, have the insurance. Yes, have green zone, so not be near an helicopter zone or airplane zone,
Mhm.
and stop just that. are the rules of the flat camp. Obviously, you need a spotter and everything, but not actually structured.
And
But
do you
still, we have 5 flat camp at
five?
least.
And do you, your partner said that Whoop races as well. Do you have same spot for every race? You have other buildings or something, other spot where you can
Actually,
fly?
we have 5 race, 4 to 5 race each year. One is here near my home in Fano. One is the Gachev. One is in Turin. One is near the mountain in the middle of Italy. So there is just 5, 6 flat camp in Italy, just all around, and each one can do one race and organize one race. Obviously, you need to agree with the rules and stuff. You need to apply. You need to be sure that every rules is followed and everything else. But we have 5 races and in different place.
But this space is for 5-inch races, right?
Yes.
And when you fly inside, David Whoops, where are you
For
flying?
this, there is Fiorix that can explain better.
Yeah. So for the Italian Whoop League, there are like 5 or 6 races for each season, and most of the locations are in the north of Italy near Milan. There are some places that are pretty common. So every year there is a race in these places. There is a race in a museum which is near the airport, but it's a museum, so you can fly inside. There is another place in Milan that is a sort of a warehouse near Milan, and then there are other places that changes every year, but they are still in the north. There are places like a gym or other events. They are, with the exception of a couple of locations, in general they change every year.
And
there are no fixed places where you can practice tiny hoop unless it's your home, but there are different places for races.
Do you have to rent these spaces, or you just get it with some connection? I mean, you do have to pay for it, or just get it for free, or
depend. So maybe for the 5-inch, there are some that have the place. So like Gachev, he is the historical one actually, because before it was for SC plane, and they started like in 80, 90. So they bought the place, and the guys the fly FPV drone just came after and find everything, set it up, and the place is them. Is bought from them. In Fano is City Hall that gave us the place.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, in Turin, they rent the place and they build it up. Meanwhile, for the tiny whoop, the big race, the EVL that they do in Bolandia, is because the owner of the place flight with drones and give them the place to fly.
That's
or
good.
they have maybe there's someone that are teacher, so they can use the gym, just talk with the school, and they can use the gym to fly. It depends. It's really open.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I fly on Velociron because I have no flight camp near me, but this
Yeah,
kind.
Italy is a little bit bigger than Hungary, and
the near flight camp for me it's 1 hour and a half of car.
Yeah, that's not bad. you asked the spot where we can fly in Hungary. I do remember there is another place, but it's very far from Budapest, about 2 and 3 hours. Hajdúszoboszló, where there is an RC field, but usually they don't organize any drone races, and they usually fly with RC planes or helicopters or something like that. So it's another spot, but not really for FPV pilot. The owner of the place doing the RC club business there. So it's a little bit easy for him because he owned the place.
You never try to maybe with the FAA talk with the government to just do as the American do. So go around with FPV is not a crime T-shirts. No.
Honestly, the Hungarian government is unfortunately too anti-drone. So there were some newspaper journalist issues with drones. So that's mainly the reason why the Hungarian government is anti-drone. So basically, we cannot really do anything about it. It's a little better, and we have some associations that are working for the drone regulations to be a little better. But we are not really seeing too much of a result from that, which is not a surprise because it's not an easy topic, to be
Easy
honest.
task. Yeah, I get why. So we almost finished. I will finish with the future of the championship. So if you have any idea about the Tiny Whoop championship or the FAA championship that you will change in future, or maybe some addiction about it, some more races maybe.
In this summer, we usually do 1 day races in the university, but in this year we try something different, and we can organize a race with farther from Budapest, and it will be a 3 day races. Of course,
Okay.
the real race will be 1 day, but I think we will fly outside as well, not only with whoops, but with 5 inches or long range drones. It will be a little bit different from the university because if I have a lot of money, I organize races in different spots where the place is unusual or some amazing places, or in museum or some castle or something like that. But unfortunately, we have a very little opportunity to do that. So I'm happy that we can do some races out of the university to be a little different than as usual.
We are going to rent a full house and we will sleep there. How many
Yeah.
pilots will come, Gábor?
I think no, we will have at least 17, 18 pilots, but the registration will end in the end of the month, this month. So I think maybe we will have 20 pilots as well.
I think that's a good result compared to the one who races, because these pilots want to come far away to race with us for 3 days, almost 3 days, which is good.
And I think in this race, it's only just one of the part of the program is the race, because in this situation we can talk freely to other pilots. We will do some food stuff in the evening, some talks and other fun stuffs. So it will be a little bit unusual race, but
More
I
social.
think it's more social. Yes, it's it's good to see the people want to come to be with us. Not only for the race, but for the community as well.
And for drink beer.
And
Yes.
yeah.
Is everything a good? Is every time a good thing?
Yes.
Okay. Just few question about it. If you have any spotlight pilot, the Hungarian pilot, if you have someone to spotlight, other than Rolando, obviously.
I mean, come on.
I think Spit is one of our best pilots. So, but there are some younger pilots who is going for the throne. Someday they will be better than Spit. But today, if I would like to mention a pilot who is doing a lot of stuff for the community, is Spit, because he is not only racing, but he takes his part from the organizing as well, and in the community as well, because there are things that we cannot see on the race. For example, Discord channel. We built up a Discord channel in the last year, and we have a lot of users there, and some of them are coming from races, some of them are just listening, some of
Creating a community.
Yeah, it's a great community, and it's good because we don't have to do everything for our own, like two of us, but the other people wants to help, and they give real help to us as well.
If you need help, if you wanna Spit, if you wanna start to do live stream, just call me. I'm free. I think this Discord channel that you are here now is one of my best achieve on the drone pilot community. If you see inside this Discord channel, there is something like Anthony Cake, the creator of Immersion. You will find Heads Up FPV. You will find Limon FPV. You will find the guys from Spain, and more of that. I think I invited all the community, the Italian community, bit for bit, and it's something. At the end, the social channel are not getting big views, as you said before. Drone racing don't do a lot of number, so maybe you focus and you do a reel or a video about that drone racing, but in your mind you know that a guy with a Mavic flying in a camp just straight, it will do more views about beside you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, but not
I know
us.
because I'm doing that too.
If you have some trick, just tell me.
What?
If you have any trick to do views, just tell me. But community, creating a real community, I think that is the key. Because yes, maybe the number are not the best, but when you go in the flat camp and you find all the guy that you are chatting online and enjoying a beer together, man, this is best feeling for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Last question will be about drone shop. So, if I come to Hungary and maybe I fly my drone and crash, which shop there are that I can just get shop and maybe have the possibility to fly?
Well, we have 3 bigger shops, So we have FPV Garage, we have DroneShop.hu, and we have FPV race store. So we have those three. That's usually doing the job.
But these are not as big like in Italy or French or Germany.
Yes.
So we usually get problem to find the right part. So we usually have to order from abroad.
In Italy too, don't worry.
Really?
All the shop in
Yeah.
Italy just do freestyle. So for racer, you never find something that you need actually.
Oh.
We all collect from the French.
But
Yeah, the affair.
Yes.
Yes.
But there is any shop that came in a flight camp as I don't know if you know Fins FPV.
Yes.
So when you came in Italy to a racetrack to a race, there will be every time Fins or a guy that help Fins just with some FC, some ESC, some motor that you can buy directly there. Is anyone that do something like that?
I think it is the same in Hungary. So there is this major 3 shop, but they usually sell online. So there is no shop where you can go in and browse the stuff. And there are some people who bought a lot of parts and sell it on races, but not much.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for example, FPV Garage is trying to hold enough stock and bring it to the race field, to the university.
Yeah.
But actually, there's only frames, some flight controller, not too much.
but it's something.
Yes, but something, yes.
Like for me, I think I'm the only Italian that don't fly Fins FPV frame. So if I break an FC, it's
Me
good.
neither.
If I break,
I fry speedy pizza frame.
Speedy
Okay.
pizza frame.
Yeah. Still Italian, but not Finns.
but if you need any frame, there is no chance that you have it. Chance. Obviously, if
Yeah.
it's Fins FPV, you can have it, but I
Yeah,
don't like
there
a
is. There was 3 frame maker in Hungary. I think 3 guys, or one of the who flies on Hungaroring, they designed the frame, and there was another who designed a frame as well, and some of the pilot design a frame, so they usually sell it. So if you are lucky, you can buy it on races.
Do you mean
But
the trusting?
only for the 5-inch.
But Gabor, do you mean the Tressim
Yes,
or Edward? Yeah,
yes, one of it.
it's a new brand. One of our pilot. He's racing with 5-inch and tiny whoop as well. Yes, pretty good in designing frames. So
and what
you should check
what
his
frame do
website.
you fly? So you say you fly Air 65 as a tiny whoop.
Yeah. Yes.
As 5
But
inch,
no, I have no 5-inch quads. So
5 inch.
actually,
Roland?
it's not an option for me because Tressim is only make frames for the bigger quads. I think 3-inch or more. But I only fly with deducted micros.
For me, I'm flying a frame that was designed by one of the race organizers. He's a really talented and like incredibly clever guy. And he designed that frame while talking with me and deciding about different design elements. Uh, it is a kind of usual race 5-inch racing frame, but with an extra addition. So basically, I have a carbon camera brace that is inserted into the frame. So I don't have a just a second.
They can show everything.
Yes,
It's good for me.
almost.
like it.
Huh? This build is not even finished. So this is my racing frame. It's kind of the usual stuff, except for that I prefer to use the 25mm standoff because it's basically not extra weight, but I have a lot of extra room around the stack. And what I was talking about is that this
Yes.
carbon camera brace, which is like 2 to 3 grams heavier maximum than a TPU camera brace, and like basically, if you destroy and somehow put the camera inside the stack, then there's bigger problem than having the camera inside the stack, you know. So basically, this whole design is just incredibly strong. So I really love this frame designed by my friend, and also, you know, Tomasz is the one that is designing the frames I'm flying, and Krzysztof, who is the other race organizer, built himself a CNC machine, and he's the one creating the carbon plates and then cutting the frames out of it. So basically, this is completely self-made by them. So this is an insanely good
expensive.
frame. What?
It just expensive. What can we
Less
say?
expensive, and whenever I have some feedback about the frame, that if I like or dislike something about it, then it can be changed, and we can have different tests with different stuff. So it's a really good thing, and I'm not gonna say this is the best frame out there, but for my my liking and my experiences, this is a really good thing.
I have something like that. What I mean is a friend of mine that do it his frame.
But I can't wait to be back in Italy for the FAI race. This is gonna be awesome.
And I hope we will get to a Whoop race someday in Italy as well. Or I hope you guys will come to Hungary as well someday.
Yeah, that would be
Why
awesome.
not?
Yeah,
I
because
will try this dart one. Really, it's you had me with a dart drone. You had
okay,
me.
if you come to Hungary, I will organize you just a dart one. Because it
Okay.
was fun.
I think we're good, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Fiorix. Where are you?
Thank you.
He's muted.
It's
No,
undercover.
he's not.
I'm here, and I also have a little surprise. Do you remember this flag?
I do.
Ah.
Yeah, you have to just rotate it a little, you know.
Yeah,
and then we are
to
there.
a little bit left.
And of course, I have drones here behind the flag.
Nice. That's
Very nice.
nice.
That's very cool.
Thank
All
you,
right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hope to meet you in Italy for the race in Varese. How do you call it?
Varese.
Yes, Varese.
Varese. Okay.
Yeah,
Varese.
they told me this year they went crazy, do a lot of stuff, drone soccer, and some crazy stuff there.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
guys. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Have a good
It's been a
one.
pleasure.
Okay,
You
thank
too.
you.
Bye bye, guys.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now I will say thank you to our sponsor. Let's begin with our historical brand sponsor. So I will say thank you to Iki Solution for the ST Image Cleaner. This is a product for cleaning your drone after the training session. It will rub out everything, the grass and everything else that's sticking your drone after a training session. I would say thank you to Fox here too. Really, he giving us some the best analog product that you can find everywhere. So thank you, really. The Predator V5 is actually for me the best analog camera that you can find everywhere. And the Reaper is small and it's reliable. Really, thank you. Really, thank you to Fox here. Thank you also to Tricolor. Really, they gave us the best ESC that you can find 2420 or 3430. They are really strong ESC, so it never killed. Maybe you can find an ESC that have 1 year, 2 year not on that after a racing series and still not broke. So really, thank you. Is really appreciate your help. Really. Also, I need to say thank you to T-Hobby. It's right here, T-Motor, but now it's T-Hobby. So thank you, T-Hobby, for sponsoring us, giving the best motor system that you can find from the new 2150, from the new F30, guys, the new F30. For me, oh, they feel amazing. They feel really amazing without the little new screw, the 2 screw. No, 1 screw in the amazing. Thank you, T-Hobby, to giving us this opportunity. And last but not at least, I will say thank you to S Impianti for giving us this t-shirt, to all the team. And really, they are amazing t-shirt. The quality products are amazing. So really, thank you.